In his 1993 book, The Gods of Eden, author William Bramley theorized that extraterrestrials played a part in nearly every catastrophe in human history, and have even used war as a means to control the growth of the human population.
Robert McGinnis with the Family Research Council says it appears the hidden agenda is to unite people under one religious organization so they will peacefully accept UN goals such as population control, abortion rights, and one world government.
I think really the government in this country wants to release this information. Military intelligence does, because I know some of them, and I think they are watching what happens in terms of the public's reaction. UFOs buzzed the Capitol on July 19th, 1952, and had General Sanford say, look, they're not ours and they're not Russian, we don't know what they are. They're real, they have discussed what to do about it. Vatican intelligence would really like to discuss it. That's the problem here. We need the governments to reveal these files.
These craft that have come here are now not UFOs, they're identified.
The people are way ahead of military intelligence.
Disclosure is very close, and the American people need to prepare themselves very soon for an announcement from our government that there is in fact an extraterrestrial presence engaging this planet and the human race.
Many years you have seen us as lights and disciples. We speak to you and yourselves show that we share and try to maintain as planet policies into a new age of progress. You must resist
The Obama administration, through the nature of who they have appointed and other indications and other information I'm receiving, has made a decision to disclose the ET presence. But that is, of course, an assessment. They are certainly not saying anything. Okay? We are encouraging the administration, which has dedicated itself to open and transparent government, to commit the ultimate act of openness and transparency, and to do it immediately at a critical time in the human race's development.
Our challenges may be new. The instruments with which we meet the demands of a new age may be new. But I will always be honest with you about what we can and must achieve tomorrow. At this moment, it is only the chance for us to make that change. And that cannot happen if we go back to the way things were. It can't happen without you. And a task that you're now called to fulfill. And at this moment in history, your generation must seek peace and align our deepest values and commitments to the demands of a new age. There's new energy to harness, for the world has changed, and we must change with it.
We understand that viewers in some parts of the region are receiving a breakthrough in sound. We're sorry about this, and we're doing our best to rectify the fault.
Finally, back home, engineers are trying to trace the source of what they call a rogue transmission, which lasted about 6 minutes during ITN's early evening news bulletin. It affected viewers in the Berkshire and Hampshire area served by the Hannington transmitter. They heard a voice which cut across what I was reading. The voice said, "Earthlings, lay down your arms. This is a message from outer space." Well, thousands of viewers later phoned Southern Television, the police, and ITN here. The spokesman for the Independent Broadcasting Authority said, "This is the first incident of its kind in Britain." Winchester police said some people were frightened by the hoax message. They said they sent an officer to calm down one woman. Well, I hope nothing's interrupted this bulletin wherever you are this evening. From all of us here, good night.
Independent Radio News at 12, David Geary. The Independent Broadcasting Authority is at a loss to explain the mysterious message that broke into a Southern Television news broadcast. The slow, deep voice proclaimed, in part, "All your weapons of evil must be destroyed. You only have a short time to learn to live in peace." The station was immediately besieged by worried telephone callers demanding an explanation. But as the information officer for the Broadcasting Authority, John Guinery, says, there could be several different causes of the message.
Well, we don't know for sure that it was a pirate call. We know that there were some voices over saying certain things of which we haven't got an exact record. We've had a lot of accounts, obviously. A lot of people have been phoning us and other people about it. We simply don't know what it was. Broadcasts, of course, are monitored at an operations centre, but there was simply a mumble, and there was some picture distortion. We've had a lot of reports in, but as I say, we simply don't know what it was.
Independent Radio News, it's 3 minutes past 12.
Chase after Ishtar. They finally got her to give up the tablets. However, she vowed that she would someday come back and she would take over planet Earth and she would create her own empire. So she fled off into the heavens. When I hear that there is force is going to save mankind and rescue you, take you to paradise. And it's called the Ashtar Command. Bingo! In a moment, I absolutely know who's behind it and what's going to happen. Send me a postcard.
In all of the ancient texts, there's one thing that is very clear, and that is that these gods one day will return.
Someone or something came into my room, and it took me away.
There has been no evidence.
There's no owl. It's not an owl.
That unidentified flying objects
My head is dug in there and I can't think straight.
Are a threat to our national security.
Oh God. We gotta send backup now.
Yes, sir. So I think my question is actually to Clifford Stone. You said that you had seen aliens on a craft that had crashed. I wondered if you could describe what they looked like.
I could, but it would probably take a whole lot of time. The reason I state that, when I got out in 1989, we had cataloged 57 different species. You have individuals that look very much like you and myself that could walk among us and you wouldn't even notice the difference, except for some of the things that they might be able to go ahead, even in a dark room, and touch an object and go ahead and identify what color that object might be. They would have a heightened sense of smell, sight, hearing. The situation is that you have various types of what we normally call grays. We didn't call them grays in the military, but you had at least 3 types of the grays. You had some that were much taller than we were. The unique thing that I'd like to point out for the most part is that the entities that we did catalog were in fact humanoid. Now this created a situation where the scientific community was trying to figure out why that would be the case, because you would expect that if life evolved on other planets, that they would take on some type of other being, so to speak, not necessarily look humanoid or be bipedal such as we are. But apparently we got quite a few of the species out there that are humanoid in appearance, and that creates a question that yet has to be answered by science.